everyone. This is Donna, and this is our Outspoken podcast. And today I have special guest, John.
Hello.
And hello, John. John is in Texas, and we are having this fantastic, wonderful conversation, and we just wanted to create this podcast as we are talking about the difference between African Americans, descendant of slaves, and others, as we talk about how they want us to go out there and put our bodies on the line for them, but they don't want to do anything for us. How Trump wants to have protests, and these protests will enable him to start martial law and possibly imprison Black Americans, and no one will stand with us. Also, John wants to talk briefly about Sharia law and what it means to America and to us if this comes in. And I am going to briefly explain why it is important we never forget that we are descendants of slaves. We have to do this in the next 10 minutes. We've spent a minute and 25 seconds introducing ourselves. Go ahead, John. I'll let you go first, and then I'll stop you at a certain point so I can explain about why we must never forget we're descendants of slaves. Go ahead, John.
The Sharia law has always been to exterminate any other form of religion. If you do not agree with their beliefs, the Islamic beliefs, the Muslim beliefs, if you have premarital sex, you get 100 lashes. If you steal, you have your hands cut off. Women will not be allowed to work. Women will not be allowed to vote. There are so many things that are in the Sharia law that will eliminate women from functioning and being able to work and do things and vote and be successful women to support their children. A lot of children have, a lot of women have, they don't have fathers in their home to help them raise their children. And this really hurts those children. It's like not only the mother, it hurts the children as well. And if we allow this Sharia law to be implemented into our Constitution, we open the door to become another Somalia, and which is really I wouldn't use the words as the same words as our president did, but it will become a disaster. We do not need that in the United States.
And thank you, and John, for telling us that. And also, unfortunately, the Somalians have been saying they're not Black. They've also been saying that they want to replace African Americans in this country. And I just asked the question, where do they think we're going? Where do they think we're supposed to go? Now, this is why it's important. I understand a lot of people are using the language foundational Americans. And I know that some people are trying to say that we are Native Americans. We're not. We came over here on the through the Atlantic slave trade. And yes, American Indians, some of them are Black. And the reason why the white races want to replace us as slaves is because they want to re-enslave us. As long as we remember that we came here through the slave trade, as long as we remember the horrors of slavery, do you understand? They will not be able to enslave us generations down. Now, John and I were talking, everyone behind us is gone. My mom, our moms, our grandparents, okay? It's us, it's our children, it's our grandchildren. Now, if they can get rid of at least 4 generations who remember the slave trade, who remember the horrors and depravity of slavery, they will not be able to enslave us again. They just had a release of a transcript of Mitch McConnell, and I think he was talking to McCarthy, and they were trying to figure out a way to enslave us. Now, as far as I know, that's true. If it's not true, it's probably conversations being had in racist America. We must never forget, as we move forward, we must never forget that we are descendants of slaves. If you want to call yourself a foundational, a Black American, do that. That's fine. I remember when I was younger, our whatever banner they had on us was changing all the time. Jesse Jackson decided, look, let's end this. Let's just give ourselves a name and stick to it, which is African American. Now, you can call yourself a foundational Black person, but you must never forget that you came here from the continent as a slave on a slave ship, that they took you off of that ship, and we don't even have to discuss what they did to you before you was put on the ship, that we did not speak English. I know that they're attacking Jasmine Crockett because she can speak white English, and she can speak in a way that Black people understand her too. That's just the racists coming against her because they are afraid of Black women. They're afraid of women, period, let alone a Black woman. So what we have to do is we have to remember, okay, and move forward and remember and never forget. We can't forget the Jewish Holocaust. We can't forget slavery in America. All right? Call yourself what you want, baby, but you better make sure that everyone in your family remembers that we are descendants of slaves. And yes, we have to remember that the American Indian helped the white people survive, and the American Indian helped us to survive, and they enslaved a relative of ours who was American Indian, and his skin was dark, and it was illegal to do so. They did that down in Texas. Now, we have just a few minutes left. John, I'm going to let you close it out.
Now, to all the African American sisters here in the United States, I just want to say thank you for all you've done. Behind every successful Black man, there was always a strong Black woman right at his side. So I just want to say thank you to all the Black African American women for all you've done. And trust me, you are appreciated and loved. And I also want you guys to know that no matter what you may face, we are strong. We've made it this far. Do not, and I'm speaking to us as a whole, not just Black African American women. I'm speaking to our brothers and all as well. We need to just sit and wait on God. We don't need to get involved in any of these mass riots or anything of that sort, because it will not benefit us one bit. Sometimes the word of God clear says to be still and know that I am God. Watch God move. And I'll leave you with that.
And I thank you so much for being with us today, John. And I just want to say to everyone, stay out of those streets. We're doing America a favor by not going into the street. We're not going to give Trump that power. And I just want to thank you guys for joining us. This has been the Outspoken podcast. Just a quick note from Donna. And you guys have a blessed day.
1